What's going on, everybody? I'm just clicking on to a couple social medias. This is my first time for this. So uh, it's in context to why I'm doing the stream, though. So my name's James Collins, Green and Clean Professionals. Was a professional pressure washing company. I recently sold my trailer, so we have rebranded over into doing AI and helping those who are starting to do AI themselves. I think that this industry is going to explode, in my opinion. It's going to be awesome. It's just going to take a lot of people to come together to get it done. Coming from a guy who's in this industry for going on 20 years now. So I'm a computer programmer by trade. So I've overlapped a lot of these things. And then I'm a simulation guy by day, working on flight simulators. Um, so I stay pretty busy and active in technologies, and I enjoy it. Some people are scared of it. Some people really don't like me because I like them, and there's everything in between. So what I'm doing is coming on here to see if I can help a few folks on what do you do whenever you realize that this is the next big thing. You think you could do it. You think you could potentially build these apps for people because you have a business mind. You have everything it takes, and you've heard nothing but good about this industry, and that you don't need to be a coder, and you don't. And just what do you do? How do you even think? Where do you start? So that's where I come in. I wanted to come in and share with you a couple things from a different perspective so you could look from my side. And I've always been a cybersecurity guy, but I'm not a cybersecurity guy anymore. But what that side of me understood was that having everything in one place is a good idea, and having a good eye on that stuff and how it gets transferred around is even a better idea. So I want to share with you a couple softwares I've used for a long time, and maybe where you start is with organization. Maybe having your files in one place and get a records management plan. So you have a good system in place so you can pass along to somebody else exactly what you're doing. And everywhere things go, from your financial systems to your operation systems. I have a lot of those in the link below that I use for my own personal business, and I'm giving a lot of those things away for free. Sorry, let me get a drink of water here. Ah, so you got some people who like Adobe, and some people who don't. Coming from a cybersecurity side, I can see why some people don't because of the reputation of Adobe Acrobat. But I have been stand by. Let me share my screen with you. I think I need to. All right. So here's what we got with the Adobe Cloud membership. This is just, it's been a backbone of mine for a long time. So I want to share with you what I do with this. Graphics for thumbnails. There's a lot of programs out there right now that's trying to petition you to go to their platform $10 a month. There is a lot of that going on right now. That's because they have a good product. What I'm sharing with you is an all in one place solution that I've used for a while. Adobe Express. If you have to design something on a quick overnight, a flyer for your band, if you got to do a Facebook post and you want to invite people to a baby shower, uh, there's thousands of ways you can use Adobe Express. It's a new thing they have, but it's pretty cool. I don't know how somebody does not have Adobe Acrobat Pro at this point. PDF editing is a absolute standard from your first day of going towards this type of agency thinking to your last day where you got systems in place and you're running something that's changing lives for people. Adobe Firefly is a new thing that they've added. It's a place where you can just put in the prompt and it gives you the animation, it gives you a logo, or gives you all kinds of things. It's Adobe Firefly has come a long way and it is pretty special. Uh, Premiere Pro is where you edit videos. It's not that hard. I guess the whole tone of why I come on here to see if I could help some folks is this is my first week of streaming. Yet there's been people who's been in the background looking for a long time at knowing that they need to do something like this. And I want to come on and start the process because I know it's needed. If we're going to do this, we have to do this where people don't go out and just get bombarded with advertisements and start spending their money. People who know some things need to step up. So I'm trying to do that for you guys to help out a little bit. So Premiere Pro, if you have videos on your phone, uh, you don't know how to edit them, and you think I need some of this stuff for my business, you probably do. After Effects, my favorite. So you go down the list here, Media Encoder. Again, you have videos on your phone that are a different format. You need them over here in a different format for YouTube or any other project that you're working on. The Media Encoder is your best friend. Every video I do from Premiere Pro, I would have a timeline with something like that intro, with something like the video that Greg and I did. If you were to take a simple video from its core to what it is, you have a bin over here. For Adobe Premiere Pro, that's what they call it, is a bin. You bring your clips into your bin. Cool enough, you can just drag and drop them in there. Then you can drag and drop them over here. Once they come over here, then they're available for editing. It's pretty simple. See these little things down here? These are called keyframes. That just brings audio up and down whenever you need to. Um, these are simple concepts in video editing, but they're really easy to do in Premiere Pro. At least for me, they are. Let me show you something. What I would do is make sure and select everything you just did before you go to your file export to your media encoder. Now, I won't get too far ahead of myself with that because it'll be opening and I don't want to glitch our stream. So I'll talk about the media encoder a little bit more. It compresses video for you. It'll take your old, being an old videographer, we used AVI files for video. Now you'll see H.264 codec. There's now an H.265. This is a really good program this is my favorite part of Adobe Cloud, I think, is their encoder. You just simply select where you want it to go, and then you hit the button, and it will take it, and you can go into any of these formats. So you could start doing some really interesting art if you're a videographer and maybe you've only had a handy cam or a GoPro and you have a lot of clips. The cloud not only makes it easy to do video editing, it also makes it easy to do effect editing. So here's something that I was just working on for a class that I was doing. This is all After Effects. Trust me, if I can do this stuff, I promise you, you can do this stuff. From there, I wanted to show you what I had in the description link, which is 500 trainings. Now, these trainings, whenever I've went through them, are absolutely relevant to today. What they don't tell you when you're starting and trying to build a SaaS product or some other type of AI product for a customer is your back end writing abilities needs to start becoming excellent. The higher ticket you're going for, the better your words need to be for prompt engineering. Now, I learned that from other sources. I'm not a big time digital agency. I'll say that up front. I will say I respect the work of guys like Liam Motley, who have obviously dominated this game. And not only that, but just seemingly a giver at every level. One of the things that I really that stood out to me was this community. It was is really a community, and they have some really great ideas for the upcoming business, especially as it's going to go into more automation and a lot less old processes. I wanted to show you a few of these trainings too. Hopefully, my screen is still being shared. Just scrolling through a few here. Facebook ads training, um, landing page training, master book publishing training, everything from how to make a product plan to how to write simple systems. When I talk about systems, I'm talking about work instructions, SOPs, your business operations, what you do day to day, video traffic ads, and how to do SEO, and just everything you can imagine when it comes to training is down below in this link. So I wanted to go over that real quick. Back to the cool stuff of After Effects, Premiere, and all the other apps, Lightroom, photo editor. It is super cool because you can take a standard photo, bring it into Lightroom. It gives you what's called an HDR effect. So what I'm giving you is starting information, but programs like that start making you look really more professional. Let me make sure I'm still sharing my screen. Yes. Dreamweaver website builder. It's even a little more complicated than I've ever really got into as even as a coder. And I specialized in web for a while, and I used Dreamweaver whenever it had Edge was an app. It was a long time ago. The reason why I'm promoting these Adobe products at all, I've been with Adobe since '99, and back whenever you had to buy the production studio, all the way to now where you got this cloud and you get all of these apps. And I would say that this is for looking at your end goal in mind, which is being able to effectively run a business maybe by yourself. If you're starting an agency, chances are you may be thinking you have a shot at it doing it by yourself. And if that's the case, you need a way to store your documents and keep absolutely organized. Right up front, that's where I would start. If you're using VS Code to pull down uh, repositories from GitHub, maybe you can see this here. Um, and you're working in code, you'll notice that you always work off in an example file. There's another one that's right above it. Figure out ways that customers can come to your agency and receive value and make a copy and maybe help some folks. That's what this community seems to be all about. So that's the reason why I'm doing some of the things I am right at this moment. Illustrator. Illustrator's probably the greatest graphics program of all time. Anybody who's been around a while knows that, knows the .ai file transfer is pretty much anything you can imagine. But for the good stuff, like what can you do with AI? Where do you start? Do you start with like a SaaS offering where you have applications that you build? I mean, do you start with making videos and becoming an influencer? I mean, where do you start? And I would highly recommend being a let me unshare my screen. Yeah, if it were me, I would start with doing videos and get out there and get live and start talking about the things that you're interested in, just like I am. And that's the point of why I'm doing this. I'm going to go through the process with everybody and I'll be as transparent as possible, but I'm going to build apps. And these apps I'm going to make available and they're going to be awesome. I'm not even going to lie. There, a few of them you saw right there, there's nothing but awesome looking at you. It's coming too. I just literally took my website today that I was building a landing page for, and I said, "Hey, take a look at." Let me see if I'm sharing this or not. I said, "Hey, take a look at my website for me." I don't even know if I can share this. I guess I can. A PDF document. Anyways, I'll quit talking about it then. The applications that I was showing right here, I'm gonna do it live action. So I took and I put my business name in there and I put my new website that I was building that is white label with deal.ai. Did this for my buddy Greg and it ran a full report to include everything here. Now, maybe we can go over there. Let me see if that's sharing. That may not be. Let me share this real quick. So, this is what you call a landing page, and please be kind. These are made to stand out, and they're made to show who you are and what you are about. And hopefully, you have used the tools that I have available in there or your tools available to do a little market research. Well, AI is perfect for that. If you have a market idea, it's a great market research analysis tool. So you can see here, I'm basically thinking about giving this away for right now. And it's just made to put a lot of information on of everything you have for sale. And then at the end, the idea would be that you'd be so kind as to give me your name and email address, phone number, and we start working together and start going towards the community of people there at Deal AI, maybe, or maybe Liam Motley's community. But I have no doubt when it comes to where you start with having an organizational plan in mind. You start by getting yourself into a community. And absolutely, if you have not made a video yet, you 100% need to start by getting in front of a camera and start talking about what you do. That's what I'm going to do, and hopefully, a few guys will join me. At that, I wanted to share something else. I'm not done. What was I going to share here? Well, I'll just say it out loud. I remember a little bit. I was thinking about sharing Liam Motley's 6 month. Let me see here. Sorry. Like I said, this is my first couple screen shares. I've never been a live podcaster before. I want to share that with you guys because I think he has some great work. It's a Word document. Maybe, just maybe, I can figure out how to put that in the link below and we'll just move on. My apologies for being a knucklehead. Yeah. So, one of the other programs that you're going to use a lot is a repository for code. If you start working with applications, you're going to have code in the background somewhere. Software configuration management is important too. So use something like GitHub. GitHub works with VS Code seamlessly, and they start setting workspaces up that are virtual and they're cyber secure. And get somebody who's around you who understands at least GitHub repositories. It's going to make a difference because that's where all the new stuff comes down from. It's the guys who use Linux. It's the guys who take uh, all the tools and start manipulating the code. And hopefully, you guys will start building applications with that type of mentality in mind if that's your goal as a agency. Uh, but you don't have to. You can use these bubble.io no code application. My favorite is VoiceFlow. I think they're pretty amazing. But everybody's adding AI into their applications these days, or at least a hook from Zapier. That's the reason I did the video. One of the first places you need to start is your documentation and linking up your back office. So your P&L shape, your P&L is straight as an arrow. So you don't want to mess up there. And that's the stuff I help with a lot of times, small businesses. So maybe in the future I'll venture into some coaching, and those lessons won't cost an arm and a leg either. So with that, thank y'all for your time. For those who joined in later, I tried to keep this short, um, but appreciate y'all too. Appreciate you clicking on the link and supporting me. I'm just getting started, and hopefully we'll build some awesome things together because I do have some crazy, awesome. Let me give you a little shot of those again if you want to. Did I see anybody say they want to see those again? Nah, maybe not. You'll see them this week, and it'll look awesome. And I think you guys will get some benefit out of it. I'm building them for value propositions. So you can take and potentially pitch to your customers that with your website design team on the front end, that you can take some of these new tools and automation and video production techniques, and you can spin this little AI program up real quick for yourselves. And my tools are going to be literally geared towards that. That person who's wanting some extra income quick, all the way to grandma using AI for the first time and having some fun with it. So, again, my name's James Collins, and thank y'all for your time. And